Hello everyone and welcome to the Horror Snob. My name's Michael James, I am the Horror Snob, and I'm back with another selection of forgotten favorites. 5 more movies I'm going to put up on the board, all revolving around cults. And I'm not talking about movies that mention cults just sort of as a background or a one-off. I'm not talking about movies where somebody might have survived a cult and is trying to live the aftermath of it, like Riley Keough's character in The Lodge. No, I mean movies that revolve around the cults themselves, where the very center focus of the movie is the cult. We're getting real specific with this one. And I have 5 truly excellent films to recommend, some elite level ones towards the top of this list you're not going to want to miss out on. Now, before we get involved in all of that, including our Horror Snob Hall of Fame matchup for the day, we're going to start off this episode, like all episodes throughout the month of March, by celebrating Women's History Month. That's right, March is Women's History Month, and we here at Horror Snob are going to celebrate in the only way we know how, by giving big props to the big-time ladies that have helped make this genre that we love so much the beautiful thing that it is. From the headliners in our favorite films, to those behind camera, our favorite characters of all time, and more than that, our favorite final girls. A true celebration of women in horror that's going to get kicked off today with a person that you might think of as the mother of horror, Ellen Burstyn. Sure, you might have come across her in some thrillers that really edge the border of horror, like Flowers in the Attic or The Calling, but what most of us really know her as is Linda Blair's mother in the original The Exorcist from 1970s. Beyond that, you've likely also recognized her voice as Grandma Dollarhide in Red Dragon, or as Sister Summerisle on today's number 5 movie on our list. With that in mind, we kick off today's Forgotten Favorites selections at number 5 with Ellen Burstyn and the 2006 remake of The Wicker Man, the Nick Cage version. Now, I know some of you purists out there likely have a hard time swallowing this as a top 5 selection, beating out the original, and hey, you've got your opinion, I have mine. They're like assholes, we all have them. But I dig Nick Cage. I like watching this super cool, really creepy, weird as fuck human being get the ever-living shit beat out of him. It's just good entertainment had by all. As for the rest of the cast, this thing is fully loaded. This is an all-star group of leading ladies that really helped make this a solid film. Not just Ellen Burstyn, but everybody behind her as well. Some up-and-coming at the time like Molly Parker, and some that were already pretty well known to us as horror fans like Lily Sobieski, who we've seen her from a half dozen different things like Joyride, Night Train, The Glass House. Yeah, Frances Conroy, who we're more familiar with recently from her work on American Horror Story, Krista Campbell. It's just a strong group of ladies that helped make this movie a solid watch. A completely creepy and really weird movie that has an ending I have to admit is just a little gut-wrenching. Spearheaded by a scene where he is just absolutely screaming his brains out. I mean, it's the kind of thing that just eats away at your soul a little bit. A fantastic scene for a solid movie, a worthwhile watch. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend you take the time to check it out. It's available video on demand right now. I have not found it streaming. If you know of a place, if you have a link, share it with us in the comment section down below so we can all enjoy the fun at a discounted price. Moving on to number 4 on our list, it's The Endless. The duo behind this film, Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead, couple guys we've talked about before. In fact, we've talked about this movie before when discussing films that are based around H.P. Lovecraft's works. Yes, this is a cult movie. It does follow the guidelines of what we're looking for on this list, but there is a lot of Lovecraftian lore of old gods involved in this film as well. The duo of guys, Benson and Moorhead, not only direct, write, produce, but they also act, and they are the tandem brothers in this thing that escaped a cult in their youth, only to be curious about it in their later years. The younger brother seriously pondering whether or not they didn't leave a good thing behind, wants to go back and investigate it and see if it's as bad as Big Brother has always led him to believe it was. They go back, they visit for a few days to check it out, and shit is pretty much upside down. This place is so much weirder, creepier than they ever imagined it was, in ways I will not explain, so I don't ruin anything for you if you have not seen this film. Suffice it to say, the only thing that's not creepy, weird, cool, and completely horrific are the people that are in this cult with them. The same cannot be said about the location, though. This vortex in the middle of nowhere America, where all the creepy, cool weirdness goes on. If you have not seen this film and you want to get in on the action, you can find it available for streaming on Netflix. Take the time to check it out. At number 3, it's Midsommar, a movie that's got this really weird love-hate relationship about it. Either you really love it or you really hate it. I am definitely in the love category. Of the 5 films on this list, this might be my personal favorite. But I have to say that I do not understand the hate. It is a slow burn film, I get it. But anything that pays off this well is definitely worth the wait. If the movie's running 2 hours long, I'm not saying that it is. I don't know the runtime off the top of my head. But let's just say it's an even 2 hours. The first hour is setup. The second hour is payoff. The payoff is worth the hour of setup. It's a drama to start off with about a young couple played by Florence Pugh and Jack Rayner who are in a very troubled part of their relationship. He's thinking about ending things. She's got trauma to her. She is not well at all. And they end up on a vacation by happenstance. And in this ill-planned vacation, they come across a little village that is doing some summer festivities. No big thing. Bright colors, white dresses, lots of flowers, green grass. It's bright, it's beautiful, it's inviting, everybody's friendly. They feed you, they clothe you, they house you. And then like the flip of a switch, this thing gets dark, gruesome, and horrific. And it goes downhill so quickly. Between what's going on in hidden corners, the perversions of celebrations, and the truly gruesome blood and guts parts, this thing pays off big. And everything you sat through early on is worth every minute of what you get in the end. Do not listen to the hate. Do not get sidetracked. If you have put this movie on the back burner, you are doing yourself a disservice. Check it out. It's available on Amazon Prime right now. It should be a priority watch on your list. At number 2, we go back to Netflix for an original of theirs called Apostle. Of all the films on this list, when it comes to the creepy, cool, dark, horrific side of things, something the previous 3 have all had in common, this movie Apostle is by far and away the king of the list. Existing somewhere in a realm between that of The Wicker Man and just about anything you can think of created by Guillermo del Toro, this thing has fantastical elements to it, horrific in their own nature, that you really don't know what to make of. It does have a little bit of a slow burn start to it, but it's not nearly as long as Midsommar. I would say 15-20 minutes it takes before this thing starts to pop a little bit here and there. Before there are just some moments where the horrific side of this thing sticks its little head out and says hello. After about that 20-minute mark, it gets rolling, things get dark, and it goes downhill in a hurry, providing us some scenes that are truly gruesome. Blood and guts galore. Characters we couldn't possibly have imagined were going to be in a film like this. And scenes that are almost impossible to predict. The mecca goldmine for us as horror fans. A movie that is not predictable all the way throughout. Leaving us shocked and surprised, which provides us moments that could, I say, give us a scare. Without relying on the stupid shit that's done so often, like your jump scares. A fantastic movie, very much worth a watch, and like all others, a priority on your list. Available for your streaming pleasure on Netflix. Go and check it out. Hey gang, before we finish up today's episode, just a quick reminder to check out the website, HorrorSnob.com. You can find a full archive of everything I've put out thus far, some truly awesome novelty items, and absolutely rare horror memorabilia authentically autographed by dudes like Sid Haig, John Carpenter, and Bela Lugosi. All available for you at HorrorSnob.com. And now let's get back into it. And finally today, at number 1, it's The Sacrament. What this movie has against all others on the list is that it exists in a realm of reality, based on a true story. It's as dark and disturbing as the rest, but it doesn't rely on the fantastical elements to try and create a scare or engagement with the audience. A found footage film of a television crew that is investigating a cult compound. The storyline of this, the compound that's investigated in this film, is based off of the original Jonestown Massacre from 1978. The very incident, the very place that gives us the quote that we use, drinking the Kool-Aid. There are no fantastical beasts. There's no magical elements. There's nothing Wiccan about this thing. Everything that happens in this film is something that could or has happened. And if that's not terrifying to you, I don't know what else would be. A fantastic film and easy number one for this list because of its basis in reality, because of its relationship to the Jonestown Massacre. There is no other competitor out there that gets even close. A must watch. It was on Netflix for a long time, but I have good news for you. If you have not seen it, you can find it for free on multiple platforms right now, including Pluto, Tubi, and Crackle. Take the time and check it out. You will not be disappointed. All right. Well, that's it for me today. As always, I invite you to take a moment, hit that subscribe button and the bell. Stay up to date with all the reviews, rankings, previews, trailers, everything I pump out on a weekly basis. And as for today's Horror Snob Hall of Fame matchup, as always, I want to know which of the 5 films we talked about today is your favorite. And the little asterisk to that being that with The Wicker Man, all of you purists out there, I'm sure, who loved the original better than the remake, you can throw that one up as well as a 6th option. 6 movies in total. Which of these cult-related films are your favorite? Tell me in the comment section down below, and don't forget to like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube in order to have a chance to win the free 1-year subscription to Shudder. My name's Michael James. I am the Horror Snob. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.